Welcome to Real Good Friends, the podcast where we talk about movies where the friendship is good and the takes are always questionable. My name is Harry Perry, and I'm with the one and only The Pro.
Hi, everybody.
We're going to get right into it with the first section you've all come to know and love. Profits and Pros Picks. The man who knows everything, the Pro, is going to let us know what performed in the box office, and then all 17 movies he went and saw in 3 days. And then we'll talk about what movies we're going to see. We'll go from there. So, Pro, take it away with your incredible knowledge.
You are too kind.
Before you tell me, do you like keep us like a note? Like, do you have like a spreadsheet? Like, genuinely, I'm not just saying this as like a riff. I've been thinking about it the last few weeks. Every time we talk about profits or box office numbers, it's not just like, oh, this movie's doing good and this one did good. It's like, this movie did good, and in comparison to this one on this bar graph that I have, it's not leading to the same trajectory. It's like you've got this whole thing mapped out.
No, I don't have it that elaborate, but I do prep for the show, and I look at usually Deadline is usually where I go, and then I try to get compile the new releases. I'm really trying to just focus on the top 5, but if I see something that's like an outlier or something that might be like an interesting topic, I'll put that in there. But this week,
I actually
5,
think I might know what the outlier is this week. But go ahead. Sorry.
I do think there is a bit of an outlier here. I really say 3 of the top 5 are interesting to me. So number 5, this is something that somebody in the Discord, or Marvel Snap Discord, talked about. I can't remember who it was. I apologize. I should really cite these sources. The Amazing Digital Circus. Have you heard about this movie?
Oh,
or
Sky.
YouTube
Sky
series?
went and saw it.
Sky. That's who it was.
She was in cosplay and everything. I was like, "What did you go see? What is this?"
So I looked it up a little bit more after this, and it's a YouTube series, and apparently this is like the wrap up of the series, but they release it in a theater release first before it goes to YouTube. So this was a Fathom event. I don't know if you're familiar with the Fathom events. But they are usually a little more expensive than an average like matinee price ticket. Like they are,
right.
I think up here is like $14 for a Fathom event. It opened to $21 million this week, which I thought was interesting. And it kind of goes into what we talked about last week with these YouTube original, back rooms and similar movies that came out recently, where YouTube is translating to box office success. I mean, $21 million for a Fathom event is pretty good, in my opinion. In the middle of the summer, too. Now, I think this is starting out to be a little more of a less traditional, summer start. So we'll get into that. So number 4, Obsession, week number 4 for it, 25.6 million for, these are all domestic totals. I didn't look at worldwide. 152.1 million domestically in its 4 week. Last week's champion, Backrooms, fell to 3rd place in its 2nd week. Was it $25.9 million, a 68% drop. And its domestic total is 135. For that one, to me, it's a similar drop percentage to what we saw last week with Mandalorian and Grogu, where I think that was 70% roughly. This is a 68% drop, which means to tell me that the initial fans that came out saw it the week 1 and then didn't come back, or the general audience wasn't really vibing with it. Which I think is the case with a lot of horror films, right? That you have that initial wave and people who are interested, but then at the same time, it's like, what's your ceiling, right? Like, you're not going to attract a whole wide audience. In 2nd place, so the top 2 were new releases, but not in the order that you would have expected. Well, I didn't expect. Masters of the Universe came in at 2nd place at $29.3 million. Is that dead on arrival? I think so. For a summer blockbuster that had big production and budgets to it, I think that used to be the kind of movie that launched like a franchise, right? Like that was an IP launcher back in the day. And now, like Transformers used to be, and make 6 more Michael Bay blow shit up Transformers movies, and now $29.3 million doesn't even move the needle. for
No.
the first week of June, you know.
Which is crazy to think about, like $23.9 million,
29,
and we're
twenty-nine point
talking,
three. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, excuse me, but still,
Yeah.
we're talking about how it doesn't move the needle. Which, like, of course, if you think about it, how many people it has to pay to make that movie? Like, that's a lot of money moving
Hmm.
around in the
The
economy, which is a good
marketing
thing. But it's like,
budget. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
yeah, like
And then
there's quite a cost that
mhm.
has to recur. Which I think.
Oh
Sorry to
yeah.
interrupt you, but I think movies like
No, you're
this,
fine.
they
You're
got to
fine.
get cheaper.
They do. They really
I
do.
was the based because of these conversations, I was watching the box office performance, not as closely as you, just kind of, hearing the
Yeah.
rumors
Yeah.
of Masters of the Universe and Michael. And
Oh yeah. Yeah.
both of those, I was just like, to tell two different stories, but let's just talk about Masters of the Universe. Every single time I was like, man, I feel like this movie could have been a success story if they just made it cheaper. But
What's
whatever.
crazy to me is that there's really not a whole lot of like the stars, right? Like who are the stars of the film? I mean, Jared Leto is the voice of Skeletor. Um, who else was in the movie? Idris Elba was Man at Arms, or is that
He was?
Man at Yeah, yeah, he was in the movie, which I didn't know until I saw the movie. Like I was like, I
What
thought he
this
looked
marketing's
familiar, but I didn't.
horrendous. I
Yeah, it's
literally read an
terrible.
interview with Idris Elba 2 days ago. Not a thing you
They
mentioned
didn't
about
talk
the
about the
movie.
movie. Yeah, yeah,
No.
he was in the
Ugh,
movie.
that's bad.
Yeah, it's Kristen Wiig was the voice of a character in the film too. Like there's some decent
What
names
the?
to it, but like I'm just trying to figure out where the money goes, right? Like some of this, we'll talk about. I have the review for this. I saw it this weekend. It's in my picks, but it some of it looked really bad. Some of it looked pretty good, But I was trying to figure out where all the money went. Where did it go? Where
Yeah.
does this money go? Because it's several $100 million, a couple $100 million easily. And like you said, it's got to get cheaper. But
Yeah.
number one was kind of surprising to me this week to keep things rolling. The new Scary Movie opened in first place with $55 million. $55 million. It
Wow.
was a franchise record for a Scary Movie franchise. I believe it's
What?
been, I think, somebody correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I think it's been 12 years, 13 years since the last Scary Movie. And this is the first one with the Wayne brothers since Scary Movie 2. So they're back in the fold. But it seems like a comedy that hasn't had a release in a long time, at least a decade, that had diminishing returns, right? 1 and 2 were, what you expected. 3 was okay. Then 4 got, they got progressively worse, right? But to open up with $55 million and take number one in the middle of the summer blockbuster tentpole season, that was really interesting to me. So I'd be interested to see how it holds up week over week. That's your number one movie. Some other notables here. Mandalorian Grogu. We talked about a lot last 2 weeks. Is now in its week number 3, domestically at $155.8 million. Made only $10 million this week in his third week. Really just bad
Not
performance.
great for a Star Wars movie. That's bad.
No, terrible. Again, it seems like it's just not resonating with the general audience at all. Michael, which is another movie that we talked about many times, and we just talked about it a couple of minutes ago. Week number 7 for Michael. I don't have the number. I didn't write the number down, but what I saw a headline about it. That's why I want to talk about it. It is now Lionsgate's highest grossing picture of all time. So it's the biggest picture for Lionsgate. It's at 898 million worldwide, so about 100 million away from making $1 billion. Which brings us to our next topic, our next point. The first movie of 2026 to cross $1 billion, which used to be it's just a weird thing, right? Because it used to be a benchmark, but then it was like if it's a big IP, you didn't make $1 billion, it was a failure. Super Mario Galaxy
it's so weird
movie,
how that's changed.
Mario 2. Yeah, it really is. COVID really disrupted things, right? COVID really changed
Yeah.
a lot of things. So that is the first movie of 2026. It's not going to be the last, but it's the first movie of the year to gross $1 billion worldwide, which makes sense, right? Mario, everyone loves Mario. Older people like me, I'm an older person. I grew up on Mario. Families, it's a multi-generational thing. Everyone knows Mario, and it's for families. Makes sense, but that is your box office report, the profits part of it. Are we moving right in then to the week ahead, and then our reviews?
Let's talk about what let's talk about what we watched this past week and what we plan on seeing this coming week. I will go first. Shocker, I didn't go see a movie.
You didn't see anything? Not even watching at home?
We watched. We've been watching Psych at home. Yeah.
Oh, Psych,
which is a TV show. So
old,
maybe.
What was that? USA.
Yeah, the
Network?
old TV show.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was on, but yeah. So we've been watching that. We're on season 7. So we're almost. For those who think that movies are superior to TV shows, we're almost done with the television section of Psych, and we're about to move on to the movie section of Psych. Then maybe I'll have some more credibility. But
it's not.
I will say,
not real good. It's not. I can't think of a smart thing to say about Friends, about TV. This is real good movie.
Yeah,
real good. Friends.
Yeah. I will say though that I'm taking up some responsibility, and this isn't in the coming week. It's not until the week after. But I purchased tickets for. Or maybe it is this weekend. I don't remember. I've got too much going on in my life. But I purchased tickets for Disclosure Day, Supergirl, and The Odyssey. So,
awesome.
We'll see. Disclosure Day, shocking to me. I was kind of just written that one off when they released the first trailer. Like I knew it was from Steven Spielberg. I was just like, oh, this doesn't look that good.
Yeah.
And then because of this podcast, I was like, I should go see a movie. I have a membership to the theater, like I should use my credits that I have. Let me go see a movie with my wife. We like going to see movies. And she was like, oh, let's watch the trailer for it. And then I was like, oh, she's not going to be impressed with this. But then we watched the most recent trailer and I was like, oh, wow, this actually looks really, really good. So I'm very, very excited for that.
It didn't spoil much of the movie.
But now,
I
tell us.
What have I watched this weekend?
I thought that it was a good trailer.
Yeah, very good trailer.
Tell us all 75 movies you went and saw, how you cleaned out the entire snack hour of Cinemark.
Yeah, Cinemark. Yeah. So I saw 3 movies. So we filmed this, full disclosure day. We filmed this on Monday nights. So sometimes when I can't fit in, there's multiple movies out. I will skip one, and I'll not skip one, but I'll see 2 on the weekend, and then I'll see one on Tuesday with Ellen. Is like our it's kind of like our little date night during the week. It's $6.50 for all day showings at my Cinemark. So we went and saw Pressure on Tuesday with Brendan Fraser and Andrew Scott. And Carrie Condon was also in it. I had no idea about this story, and I can't speak to how much of it was for the cinema and how much of it was factual, but it was really interesting. It actually made me really care about the weather, because it's all about the D-Day invasion of Normandy, right? They're storming the beaches, and Eisenhower needs. What's that?
The weather. That was not what I was expecting to come out of your mouth. You cared about the weather.
No, it's all about the weather. Yeah, well, because it's all about the weather. So Eisenhower needed a forecast for the invasion. Like, hey, what's it gonna do? What's the weather gonna be like? What's the seas gonna be like? Because they just can't land these ships in 13-foot waves. And it actually gave you insight, like a little bit of insight perspective. Okay, well, there's a lot more to this stuff than just, hey, I'm going to go out there and shoot you. Hey, how can I get this person to point A to point B? It was entertaining. Ellen and I both liked it. I would say a 7 out of 10 if I was giving it a numerical rating. Saturday we saw not Ellen and I, my dad and I went to see. We went and saw a Scary Movie. Very much the same kind of, if you like the Wayans brothers humor, you'll like it. It's the same stuff. A lot of it was kind of cringe humor, some very dated references and dated tropes in the movie. But I really
Oh,
thought
interesting.
it felt like it's starting to find its footing towards the end of the movie, actually. So like, what it was one of those that got better. I feel like as it went on, I would give it a 4 out of 10. Didn't totally resonate with me, but I did like the ending. I think that was pretty clever what they did. And then Sunday we saw He-Man Masters of the Universe. Bit of a mixed bag to me. I thought the performances for the most part were pretty good. The visuals were colorful for there were some colorful moments, moments where it looked really good, and then moments where it looked really bad. So totally a mixed bag. Action was okay, more humor than I was expecting. But when it was really working, it was when it leaned on its campiness, like that He-Man, the old Masters of the Universe, like style of cartoon, where it's like kind of campy and very 80s. Like there were a lot of 80s tropes to the movie, like very similar soundtracks and all that. So I would give it a 6 out of 10. It was not a bad time at the movie. I don't regret going, but I would not rush to see it if you're interested in seeing it.
Okay.
I hate to advocate for waiting on streaming, but wait for streaming.
Well, there we have it. I was this whole time I was like waiting. I was like, he's not talking about this movie. He's not talking about a movie. He had to go see it. And so I'm like scrambling, trying to look up the name of the movie. I didn't remember it. I was waiting for you to say that you saw it so that I could remember the name. And then I looked it up. It doesn't come out till September. So I will save my question about what you thought about this movie for September when it comes out.
All right. Now I am seeing. So tomorrow we have a movie. Ellen and I have a movie tomorrow for our little Tuesday date night. We're seeing. What are we seeing tomorrow? We are seeing Power Ballad with Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas. So that looks like a good one. Could be fun. Could be a little emotional. I think because I think it's like a dramedy. And then your new releases for this week, what I'm going to plan on seeing next weekend. We already talked about Disclosure Day, the new Spielberg picture. I think it looks really good. I think it could be a sneakily good movie. Maybe I don't want to put it in my top 10. I don't want to say it's a contender for my top 10 list, but again, Spielberg, I wouldn't be surprised. I love most of Spielberg's work. One movie that I'd be remiss if I didn't say it. Stop That Train. Have you heard about this movie? I don't know if you're familiar with
the movie that I was trying to find. There was okay. I'm going crazy. Yes, that's the one that I was thinking of.
Stop That. Was it really?
Yeah, but I was looking up How to Rob a Train, and then I was like, no. Okay,
How to Rob a Train. How to Rob a Bank.
Yeah, that comes out in September. So Google
September
was like,
4th.
No, it's not How to Rob a Train. It's How to Rob a Bank. I'm like, okay, I guess it comes out in September. But there is one about a train. What's it called?
Well, Stop That Train. But it's a RuPaul movie. Yeah, it's RuPaul. I only know about it because we were walking past it so my Cinemark has posters on the outside. I feel most movie theaters do, right? I don't know why I'm saying that my theater is the best and does this thing exclusively.
They do something unique. They hang movie posters up
on the outside of the building, in addition to the inside of the building. But it's a new RuPaul movie. I don't know what it's about, but Ellen and her friend are going to see it this weekend. So they're going Saturday night to see it. And then a movie that I'm really looking forward to is The Furious. It's out this weekend. Finally, I've been hyped for this movie for like 2 months now. It's a martial arts film, action. You have a reaction. What's your reaction?
That's coming out this weekend?
This weekend, yeah. You know about this?
Oh
I literally thought I was the only one who knew.
No, this is like the type of movies that I'm all about. I love these movies.
I love this. This is great. I find something new about you.
I've known about it since the Toronto Film Festival last year, and I've been like waiting and waiting. Yeah. Here's the problem with me though, is that I forget to write things down, and then the ADHD forgets the names of things. So then I'll be like, what was that movie?
Yeah.
Last year it was at the Toronto Film Festival. I wanted to see it. It was really good. And then and it's always like these weird movies like this that no one else knows about, and so you can't figure out
Right,
what it
because it's
is.
not. Yeah, yeah. I haven't
Yeah.
seen many
Okay.
previews for it in any of the movies I go to. I only know about it because I follow this guy on social. The account is MAAC. I don't know what the acronym is, but they break down like martial art films and like what's coming
Yeah.
out. And they compared this to The Raid. Like The Raid is one of my favorite action films
Really?
of probably not just the last
No.
10 years, all time. Oh
Raid's
yeah, yeah.
exceptional.
It's
Yeah,
what
Raid's amazing.
it's fantastic movie. The camera work and the choreography, the fight choreography is it's superb.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
this
I'm
is
so
getting
distracted. I'm looking at this
similar
cast here.
buzz
I can't
about it.
believe it. This cast is looking
It's a good
really,
cast. Yeah,
really
really good
good.
cast.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
the
I'm
director
really
did
pumped
Snake
for it.
Eyes,
I like Snake Eyes. I
which
did like Snake Eyes. Yeah.
for movies that I'll save my thoughts on Snake Eyes, but yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't. Holy smokes! I gotta go make
Now,
time to go see this movie. I don't need more to do
I
in my
I
life,
will.
bro, but I gotta go see this movie.
I would definitely advocate to go see it because
Yeah,
these movies. People ask me like, why do you go to the movie so quickly? And because of these reasons. Like this movie is finally playing at my Cinemark, and I don't think it's going to be there beyond a short window, especially with the movies that are still coming out that take screens away, right?
yeah.
And there was a movie Ella and I saw that we both really enjoyed. We went out to see it opening week, and it was the next week. It was down to one showing at our Cinemark. Out of 20, we have a
Wow,
24 screen Cinemark, and it had one showing. It was like a
wow.
good thing we went because we would have missed it, right? Um, so yeah, that is your upcoming picks. Make time to go see it because you're gonna regret it if it's not there next week.
Yeah, speaking of which, this is a little bit of a side tangent. Then we'll move on to the next segment, the one that
No, it's okay. Yeah,
the
you're
one that
good.
I brought,
I
even
like
though
side
Bro brought it
tangents.
this week. Is that when trying to book tickets for Disclosure Day, there's a theater that's really close to us. It's a six
Mhm.
screen theater, right? So it's pretty small, right? It doesn't have premium large
Yeah,
formats or anything, but it's really nice because it's not a far drive, and we can get show times after our daughter goes to sleep. So when we have our babysitter, they don't actually have to watch our daughter; they're just there watching a baby
there's
monitor. It's
one making
cheaper
sure
and
it sleeps.
easier,
Yeah,
like it's just easier. Anyway, versus
yeah.
like, oh, we got to drive clear out there and get dinner beforehand, and whatever. I am so in the weeds here. They did not have at these 6 screens. I cannot believe it that they do not have Disclosure Day there. It's like, what other movie
What?
are you showing on your 6 screens that displaces Disclosure Day? That's what I'm saying. I could not believe it. I was like, surely this has to be a mistake. I went to a different app. Like I checked. I was like, this can't be right. They're just choosing not to show it at the theater on their 6 screens. With like what other movie is more
Don't
important?
dox
Like,
yourself. You're gonna have to name drop this theater after we're done recording here. I want to let
well,
this in.
it's the same chain. It's the one I have a membership to. So we just went to we're going to one of their other locations to see Disclosure Day.
Okay,
Like,
okay. That's really weird.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
a big release. It's a
yeah,
Spielberg release. Like, I
yeah.
can't
That's what I thought
imagine
was
what
weird.
yeah, especially with the current
But
offerings right now. I
yeah,
would think
yes, that
back
more than anything.
rooms. Yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah, it's
not
like
another big
everything else has
release out.
been out.
He-Man,
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah,
this is like the movie for this weekend. Why are you not showing this? And I will say that what was when we went and saw not um Spielberg's last movie, The Fablemans,
The
but the
Fablemans,
one before that,
great
West
movie.
Side West Side Story.
West
When
Side
West Side
Story.
Story
Yeah,
was released, same thing. They did not have it at the local theater.
really.
So
That's
we went to one
interesting.
further away, but we went and saw an IMAX, which was really nice. I'm not
Yeah.
joking. I still remember this. We went in. There was a movie that came out the week. It was either the week before or the week after. So it was like either we went and saw a movie, then we saw West Side Story, or it was we went and saw West Side Story, then we saw a movie. I don't remember. I'm not kidding. West Side Story, the theater was empty. Not
Really?
not just the screen we were in, but like the whole theater. The parking lot had hardly any cars in it. People did not show up
Wow.
to see West Side Story. I was
Really?
astonished. I was like, I actually wrote I'll have to go see if it's on my letterbox. I remember writing about it, thinking like, is it people won't show up for Steven Spielberg? But then the week after, so it had to be the week before. But the week before, when we went and saw insert whatever movie it was, the theater was legitimately packed. You couldn't buy any. It was literally full. So maybe there's like some local discrimination against Steven Spielberg to the theater, like because it's the same chain, right? They own the one that has a large format, and then the one close to us. So maybe they're like, oh yeah, Spielberg doesn't draw attention. We're not going to put him in our small theaters.
I had a similar experience this week. We'll wrap it up on this. I had a similar experience. I bought our tickets for Masters of the Universe on Friday night. Usually, what I do is I coordinate with, when my dad wants to see movies and then Ellen wants to see movies. And when they want to see movies together, I bring them together with me. So I don't have to go by like 2 times.
Right.
Now, if it's a movie I really like, I plan on seeing The Furious twice next week. I'm going to go with Ellen. I'm going to go with my dad on Sunday, and I'm going to go with Ellen on Tuesday. So I plan on seeing it twice. But like the Mission Impossible, all those movies, I've seen them multiple times. I don't care. But with some of these movies like Masters Universe, I don't know if I'm going to like it the first time. And certainly not, rarely do I like it again to see it a second time. So I try to get them all to go together first. I bought the tickets Friday night. I was the only tickets, the three tickets that I bought were the only 3 in their entire premium large format screen that were sold that night. Now, when we showed up to the theater, it was I wouldn't even say a quarter full. It was really dead for their premium format. So it was quite dead. So that is not it's not an old, it still goes on today. Like for a summer blockbuster in their premium large format today, the biggest screen they have, it's the biggest theater they have there. I was thinking about the IMAX, but yeah, that is just crazy to me that a Spielberg picture wouldn't draw that well. Yeah. I get maybe that's source material, but that's still interesting to me.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think that's a good segue. I think it's a good segue into our conversation that you want to bring up.
Yeah, the conversation that I was supposed to prepare this week, but I'm so unprepared that Pro prepared it for me, was this. How do we preface this? Okay, so here's my topic for this week is an article written by this jabroni who has a list of, here's the title, unpopular opinion. Yeah, it is, you dingus. Are these directors overrated? Let me tell you how I really feel. Okay, we've got a list. He has. let me scroll to the bottom. We're gonna work our way to the top because okay. He has 10 directors that he's claiming are. Let me make sure you hear this word right. Overrated. Okay, this individual is claiming that these directors are overrated. We're gonna have to go through this quickly because I'm going to be standing on that table shouting to somebody if we're not careful here. Starting with the first one that it already has me worked up. Number 10, he claims that Christopher McQuarrie, the director of Mission Impossible, the last 3, the last four Mission Impossibles, is overrated.
Yeah.
This is what he said.
You don't talk shit about McHugh.
Yeah, that his success with Mission Impossible films highly sway opinions of him, and this individual says why he ranks here as a director. Christopher McQuarrie is one of the best screenwriters in Hollywood. No, that was not a typo. Christopher McQuarrie has a writer's eye for storytelling that does not quite put him in the same company as some of the most iconic and legendary filmmakers of all time. That I do agree with. I think Christopher McQuarrie is is a better screenwriter than he is a director, but I don't think that he's a bad director by any means.
No.
Yeah. Is McHugh a flawless director? No. Is he an overrated director? No, because
who is a flawless director though?
True, but also people don't talk. This is the thing, Christopher McQuarrie. Sure, you could say that his fame and his success with the Mission Impossible movies kind of carry him and lift him up. Sure, that's just fine. He directed the Mission Impossible movies. I think he deserves that.
Right.
But additionally, do people really claim that he's that high rated? That's the at
I
least with
don't.
the
I don't
Christopher
hear
McQuarrie.
anybody
That's
talk about him.
exactly
Do
like
you?
he doesn't. It's not that I'm defending that he deserves high praise. Like I'm saying that he doesn't even get up there. So to say that he's overrated is already pushing him beyond the praise that I think he even receives. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, he doesn't get talked about. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, you agree. This next one I actually agree with, but we could. He's at the top of the list for me. He's number one. This jabroni.
Number one is
List him at
overrated.
number 9. Yeah, as overrated. Yeah, to me, he's the number one overrated director ever. He's wearing the
Okay,
same headphones as me in this image, though, so I don't know how I feel about that.
I
So I might
can't
have to go buy
remember
new headphones.
who it was.
Zack Schneider is number 9. Okay, moving on. Okay, number 8, Ben Affleck. Yeah,
What
same.
has he
This
directed
is
lately, though? I can't remember anything he's directed
yeah,
recently.
that's what I'm saying. Is this it falls in the same category, but even more exaggeratively of Christopher McQuarrie was like, who is talking about him in high regard so continually that makes you think he's
Right.
even considered in this conversation? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not defending that he deserves to be high rated. I'm saying that he's not even
Who's
up
talking
there.
about him?
So
Yeah. Yeah.
you suggesting that he's overrated is you are the one overrating him by suggesting he's overrated. If you get what I'm saying. Yeah, okay. I'm glad we're thinking the same way. We can move through this quickly. This next one blows my mind. James Cameron at number 7. James Cameron? What?
I have a lot to
Let
say
me tell
about
you.
this topic. So, yeah.
I'll let you go from here. James Cameron. Do you think he's overrated?
No,
Okay.
absolutely
I
not.
was like, is he going to say yes?
Because
Is our
so
friendship over?
no. So here's my thing, right? And I'll save my topics for like my discussion points when we get to the whole list. But your achievements in cinema have to matter, right? And James Cameron has made how many of the top 5 highest grossing films of all time? Is he on the top 3 or is it 4? Because I think Endgame is in there.
He's
Titanic
easily in the
and the 2
top 3.
Avatars.
I
Two of the
think he owns
Avatars.
2/3 of the top 3.
Yeah,
Or
it's
maybe it's top 5.
crazy. And yeah, I mean, he's done some things that weren't so like, Avatar is really just dances with wolves in space, right? But and then Avatar 2 and Avatar 3 are basically the same movie, whatever. The technology that he helped advance with those films, and then what he did with Terminator, Terminator 2, Aliens, like he took Alien, right? The Alien property. He took it from a sci-fi horror film to a action film, and it stood on its own merit. It's like one of those rare instances where it's a sequel that's just stands up just as well as the first one did.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, you're because I think I know who else is on this list if I remember correctly, and I had some strong feelings about this. Your what you did should kind of like give you immunity in some of these discussions, I feel.
Yeah.
But I'll save more for the end.
Here's the thing that I'll say about James Cameron is that if you, and then we'll move through the rest quickly. I think people, let me like push glasses up type thing. People dramatically misunderstand the role of a director. I think people drastically misunderstand what a director does when making a movie. And as an example, what James Cameron has done as a director for cinema, for filmmaking with his films is unprecedented. He has advanced technology in ways that nobody else has. I still to this day will never forget the experience that I had watching Avatar 2 in theaters in IMAX and thinking to myself, is that real water or is that CGI water? I can't tell.
The technology that they made to film underwater was crazy.
Which, to be fair, 80 to 90 to 99% of that credit goes to Weta Digital and the VFX artists who are genuinely building and utilizing that technology. But you don't get a company to do that. You don't push boundaries if you aren't a director out there leading the charge, putting your neck on the line constantly to advance the technology, to find producers who will take risks in you, to pay for that advancement. Like as someone who directs a production of a movie, James Cameron has done more than probably any other working director in Hollywood today. And that's not just, I'm not saying that just on merits of my enjoyment of his films. I didn't even go see Avatar 3, but what a director does to lead a production, he has done more than most other people. And I think that's astonishing that he's on this list. This next one,
we need a director to keep us on track.
Yeah, we'll go through them quickly. Michael Bay. Okay, who's rating Michael Bay that high besides me? My Letterboxd profile says #1 Michael Bay defender, and I understand that is hyperbole. And I will no one's praising it. Same thing with Ben Affleck and Zach and Christopher McQuarrie. Like, who's rating him up this high that you would even consider listing him as overrated? Is weird to me. But I will defend Michael Bay, the #1 Michael Bay defender. Right here. Who owns all of those Transformers movies in Steelbook 4K Blu-ray? This guy. Okay, so Tim Burton is #5. Again, same thing. Who's overrated?
Hot Tim take. Burton? I agree with. I agree with that one.
Really? I could be persuaded of that.
I think Tim Burton
again,
I've never
the general public overrates him. Really? Wow.
Never. Not like even the Batman films. Like those aren't even like the top. Okay, I'm trying to think of how many Batman films there are now. Well, if you're counting the Dark Knight trilogy, Nolan's trilogy as one entity, maybe I can make an argument for Batman 1 to be in there. But I haven't really liked any of his films. I haven't. Nightmare. Did he direct Nightmare Before Christmas? I don't think he did.
That's what I was going to say. The only one that I've connected with is the Nightmare Before Christmas, and he didn't even direct it. But his name's on it.
He didn't direct it.
So he didn't direct it, but people think he did.
That movie.
You don't like the Nightmare Before Christmas?
But that's what no.
Wow! Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I actually, taking my own reaction down, I think I'm just overreacting to this list because I'm so astonished by it. But Tim Burton, I actually kind of agree with. This next one, I don't know. I don't have much else to say. #4, Clint Eastwood. Nothing? Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think that.
Who I found out recently has retired from acting, and he's done with filmmaking. He's 93.
I mean, he's old,
now.
so that
I think he just turned 93.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's almost like 100, so that makes sense. Again, same thing. I don't see a lot of people including him in conversations of really high-rated, highly esteemed directors. I think his name is known, but it's not necessarily that. Yeah, but I think it's still known that it's oh yeah, do you know Clint Eastwood? It's oh yeah, I've heard the name type of thing. But I don't think it's
he had that run with Gran Torino, $1 Million Baby, and he had that run there, and people were talking about him because American Sniper, he was winning, he was up for a lot of nods with that run. So maybe that's where they're coming from with the overrated. But that's been at least a decade ago now.
Yeah,
maybe I might be off my time.
So here we go into the top 3. I'm just gonna let you, because if not, we'll get off the rails here. Steven Spielberg is listed as the #3 most overrated directors.
You want to go top 2 more? Because I
next
know who's
one,
#1.
Ridley Scott.
We'll go. Yeah. This
is
list
#2.
is
So here's our top 3. We have Steven Spielberg, which already is ridiculous. #2 is Ridley Scott, equally ridiculous. #3, the most overrated director ever, Christopher Nolan. Okay, I need to calm down, but let me say this here. He says that the reason he ranks here, I'll just read exactly what he says because I just okay.
Read it verbatim.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
He says The Dark Knight is a masterpiece. I really love Inception. The Prestige is underrated, and Memento is awesome. But Tenet didn't make a lick of sense. It's because they're not supposed to make sense of it. Okay, anyway, Interstellar and Dunkirk are exercises in tedium from a filmmaker who thinks he is the greatest gift in the medium since Stanley Kubrick. You, my friend, Dunkirk, I don't know, we could have a conversation about it, but Interstellar, I think you've completely lost yourself. You go watch Interstellar again. I have no doubt that Christopher Nolan will turn out at least another masterpiece or two in his career, but right now we are treating him as if he walks on water because he made 2 okay Batman movies and 1 brilliant one. Even his best winner, Oppenheimer, was too cold, too distant, and just not nearly as good as everyone made it out to be. What is the matter with you? Do you just being a hipster? Do you just think it's cool to say that Christopher Nolan isn't as good as he is? Like, there's this weird thing that people, if you ever go to film school or you ever like interact with film buffs, there's like this weird cycle of like liking Christopher Nolan means that you don't have taste, to then like coming back around and being like, oh, actually Christopher Nolan's pretty good. And he like, it is good taste if you like Christopher Nolan, even though you recognize that there's other filmmakers who achieve things differently. Like anyway, this is just astonishing to me. Interstellar is such an exceptionally well-made movie, and it's way more than just trying to do something tedious. Like Dunkirk, again, I could have a conversation about it, even if I disagree. But Interstellar, I just am going to stand on principle and say you've completely misunderstood the whole point of that movie. But go ahead, Pro. Sorry.
So I'll kind of paint a picture for you. I was on my lunch break today. I was eating a turkey burger, and I was scrolling through socials, and I saw this because I follow this website, Joe Blow, for entertainment news. I don't really see them as often as I used to. I think I follow some better accounts. I saw the headline and I started reading. I was like, oh, okay. The thumbnail is a picture of Christopher Nolan. So it got me clicking, and it really gassed my flabbers, where, it has to be rage bait, and it clearly worked on you and me, but I've had time to process it and calm down since then, because I wanted to have a different, I was originally going to say, like, who are my most overrated directors? But then I'm like, you know what? Why does somebody have to be overrated? Why does it have to be overrated? Do I think there are bad directors? Sure. Do I think that there are some directors, maybe in my opinion, are overrated? Sure. I already mentioned Tim Burton. As much as this pains me to say, as The Godfather is my favorite film of all time, I think Francis Ford Coppola is slightly overrated, if you ask my opinion. His track record is not very good. Like, he did a Godfather 1, he did a Godfather 2, all-time classics. Godfather 3 was not good. It's not a terrible movie, but it's not like a classic. And then Apocalypse Now. He did Apocalypse Now, which is a great movie. I think George Lucas is slightly overrated. That might be a hot take. The best Star Wars films, he didn't direct them. Like Empire, he didn't direct Empire. He didn't direct Rogue One. Like,
it was his
you
wife.
could say New Hope
It was
and New Hope and Episode 3. Like, those are the 2 best Star Wars films he directed, right? But when I saw Nolan and Spielberg and Scott in the top 3, again, I think it goes back to the discussion we were having earlier about Cameron, right? That your achievements, what you have achieved, has to count for something, right? What Nolan is doing to advance filmmaking with IMAX it's unprecedented. And nobody brought up Insomnia with Pacino and Robin Williams. Great film. Fantastic movie. Like, nobody brought that up. Yeah, Dunkirk was a little slow, and Tenet, I think was a byproduct of unfortunate product of COVID, right? Because it came out like right after the pandemic, right after theaters reopened, I believe. Nobody saw it. you know, because it was just but the spectacle. The man got a 737 jet and crashed into a hangar. He built an actual hangar, right? If I'm not mistaken, if I'm misremembering, please correct me. Literally crashed it. That whole motorcycle scene in Dark Knight where he flips the semi truck, that was all practical effects. He got a semi, he flipped it. Remember when the Batman and the Joker are squaring off on the Gotham streets, and he's on the Bat Pod and he goes under
Right.
the semi,
Yeah, yeah.
flips it
He flips
over. Practical effects. Ridley Scott, like not even going to talk about Spielberg. Spielberg steps for himself. Ridley Scott gets a lot of crap lately because his recent track record has not been very good. Gladiator 2 was okay. It wasn't like a great movie.
I loved
but
Gladiator
like he
2.
did Gladiator. I did too. I liked it, but I didn't think it was like a classic film, right? But I think it was still a good film. It was a very good film. It was one of my top films of that year. Was that 2 years ago? Yeah. Anyway, Alien, Gladiator, Blade Runner, like that alone. Black Hawk Down, fantastic. And his new movie that's coming out this year with Jacob Elordi, I mentioned it a couple episodes ago. Oh, that might be the lost episode. Crap. Where we gave our most anticipated movies the rest of the year. The Dog Stars, which I again saw another preview for this weekend. Fantastic. I think it's going to be a really good movie. I really have high hopes for that. So, bottom line, why does anybody have to be overrated? They're just they make art, and it's fine. Movies are the byproduct of so many people other than director. Yeah, you got the maestro and the orchestra, he's conducting everything, but it's a whole team. It's a whole group of people. So I disagree with the whole notion of overrated. When I first read it, though, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I want to get my thoughts about this and my overrated picks." But then I had that epiphany. Why does it have to be overrated?
Yeah, I've been rage baited, you could say. Well, I agree with you. To quote the great cinema wins instead of cinema sins, enjoying things is more fun than disliking them. And like, I don't know. Obviously,
yeah.
This individual's writing content to get clicks. They got my click. I've been rage baited.
Yeah.
But I just think now I'm feeling a little bit foolish in how defensive I got when like clearly this is written to get a reaction out of you, and it worked. Like I've been played. But I will say
he's a good writer.
That one of the exclusions is notable of Denis Villeneuve. That dude. We'll see what happens with James Bond. But that dude has yet to miss.
You think he's overrated?
No. I'm saying.
You don't think he's overrated? As a
side note, like he's excluded from this because he has yet to miss. Like any of these, I could understand why somebody say, "Oh, this particular film," in any one of these 10 directors on this list, they don't like. Tenet as an example for Christopher Nolan, or The Dark Knight Rises. Denis Villeneuve has not missed.
No, he hasn't.
Anyway. We've spent way too much time on this one, Pro. So I will calm down and we can move on to the next topic, the one that you brought, which I realized when I made this graphic and I assigned this topic to you and the other topic to me, we should have switched them because here's your topic. That was the one that I talked about. Take it away.
So the question is very simple. What do you think is the movie of the summer? Now, we didn't really talk about the specifics, right? Like we didn't talk about, okay, is it purely based on box office success? Is it cultural impact? What do you think is the best film? Like what do you want the metrics to be? What do you
I think we could do too. Like box office obviously is an easy metric. And then I'm trying to think how to describe it. Cultural impact? No. That's too hard to measure. Our personal picks, like box office, the one that we are like our personal movie.
Personal pick. Okay.
Go ahead.
You want to go first?
I've talked way too much.
All right. What my personal my personal pick and my prediction for box office are one and the same. Surprisingly, and it's not Odyssey. I think the box office king is going to be Spider-Man: Brand New Day, and I think the best movie of the summer, well, my favorite film from the summer, and will probably end up in my end of the year list, is Spider-Man: Brand New Day. I think that's going to be the best film of the summer. I'm so excited for the movie. The Furious, though, could be a contender. I really feel like the Furious could be the contender.
Wow.
But
Okay.
I really think it's going to be Spider-Man.
I'm with you on the box office. I think Spider-Man's going to take it. As far as my personal favorite, it's definitely going to be the Odyssey for me.
Yeah.
One, I'm just a huge fan of Christopher Nolan. I'm a fan of almost every single actor who's in the film. But also the story really resonates with me. Like, just thinking about it makes me really emotional. The ferocity and the commitment to get home to your family is it's like a big theme of my life right now. I'm a new dad, it's my family means a lot to me in more ways than it did before in my life, and so it's like really resonating with me in a way that I didn't expect it to. So I think that I'll be really connected to that film. But I agree with you that you're raising your hand. Yes, Pro. You have something to say.
Raising my hand. I have something to add. Ellen, I love you. I'm not willing to fight a Cyclops though to get home. So just full disclosure.
Yeah, am I willing to take on the gods to get home to my family, basically? Hilarious. So yeah. Luckily, all I have to worry about is driving home in traffic with a bunch of horrible drivers. So
that could be a Cyclops. Yeah. It's our modern day Cyclops.
So yeah. But what was the other one that now I'm forgetting what you said? The other one that might be your top pick. I was going to agree with you completely. The Furious. Thank you. Completely lost my emptied my brain. Lost my train of thought. Yeah, The Furious. I think for me, the personal favorites, if I had to give like top three, will be of the summer. It will be the Odyssey, and then either the Furious or Disclosure Day, and second or third, kind of interplaceable, and then fourth place, fifth, sixth will be Spider-Man, somewhere around there. I don't know. Spider-Man's really going to have to like do something really right to hit me. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I do too. I really love I was a Spider-Man Homecoming defender. I love Spider-Man Homecoming. I think it's I think that film understands Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Absolutely.
His set of movies.
And so I don't know why something about this movie has me really doubtful. I don't know what it is. So I want to be disproved.
Can I convert you? Can I convert you? All right. First off, John Bernthal back as the Punisher. Can't wait for that. Mark Ruffalo, Hulk, should be making an appearance. And then number 3, it's directed by the same director who did Shang-Chi in The Legend of the Ten Rings, which might be a controversial take.
It's one of my top 5 favorite Marvel films of all time. My gosh. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I'm converted. Yeah. I'm an easy sell. So, all right. Well, okay. We'll see what happens. We got a few months to wait. Basically 2 months. We have all of June and all of July, and then we'll come back and we'll see where we correct. But what we are going to ask the final.
Are we counting August into
this discussion too? I don't really know what's coming out in August, though.
I think that I believe, and I'll double check, but the Dog Stars are releasing in August, which is a movie I'm really looking forward to. So that might be my.
We'll see. Till August. We'll wait till August.
So Spider-Man, Furious, and then
so the final question. This is a simple one, since this episode's gone long enough with my soapbox I got on. My goodness, I've been baited. The question is, it's a simple one. Okay. Somebody asked me this a few days ago, and I don't want you to ask this question because this is a long one. I want you to ask the second or answer the second question I'm going to ask. Okay. So the question they asked me is, why do you love movies?
Okay. I don't know this question going in.
Yeah. So the question they asked me is, why do you love movies? And I was like, oh man, how long do you have? And then So kind of the follow-up question that I have for you is, what is a movie you would suggest to someone who you want to fall in love with movies? Like if somebody's like, "Hey, I know you really like movies. I would like to get
Ooh.
into movies. I would like to love them," which no one asked that. That's like a weird thing to ask. But hypothetically, someone's interested in like
Are we talking to an alien? Like,
no,
is
we got
this
to say they're
person an
human.
alien that you talk
They
to?
got to
Like,
have this
hello, Earthling.
they got to
What
have
do
the
you
same
feel
experience.
about
Yeah, like what
movies?
I got to find a better way to phrase this question, but basically like what's a movie that you would recommend if you wanted to like convince someone why movies are so great, Maybe wait, hold on. Is it just going to be The Godfather 2? Have I just walked into this?
Mm. Yes and no. Okay, so why do I love movies? Movies to me, they make me remember some really good times of my life, and going like it reminds me of summer. So I really don't want to get like too emotional on the podcast here, but for people that know me in real life, know that I lost my mom when I was
Oh,
really young. I was 12. Um, and she used to take us to the movies, my brother and I. She used to take us when we were kids every summer to like the summer. I can't remember what it's called, like Clubhouse or whatever it's called, Kids Clubhouse or Kids Summer Movies or whatever it was called. And she would take us every summer because my mom. So towards the end of her life, she went on disability, and so she was home every day with us. And so she did work. Both my parents worked. She wasn't a stay home mom but towards the end she was, and she would take us, and it was like it was really fun times. And then moving forward, after that, I think I alluded to it once before, talked about it once before. When my family and I get together, it's always, "Hey, have you seen any good movies lately?" It's not, "How's school? How's Ellen? Has you seen any good movies lately?" And it's brought us like all of us together. Like we talk about movies. I had an uncle again, sadly passed away recently. My uncle Danny. Uh, he whenever I come up to see him, he lived about 45 minutes from where I lived. He had like all the action films. He was into horror too, but I wasn't really into that. But he had like all the Schwarzenegger films. He had the Stallone films. He would take us to the movie theater. The one that conveniently I go to now, which was way bigger than anything I had back home. And going to this massive theater with the marquee and the lights on the outside. It was a 24 screen, the 24 screen theater. It was really like
yeah.
it was like spectacle, and being transported to a different era and world, and laughing and crying with the audience and cheering with the audience, and you had this connection. And now I get to share with my dad. My dad and I go just about every weekend. I get to share with him, and now with Ellen. Like I haven't told you this story. Ellen knows it, and our closest friends and family know it. We met online. Ellen and I met online through Match.com. And she messaged me, and the first question she messaged me first. She asked me, "Are you excited for the new?" Because I had my profile of Marvel and Marvel films, and she asked, Are you excited to see Guardians of the Galaxy 2?" And I said, "I'm going to marry this woman." And here I am. I did. So I'm going to. But so we built this connection over film, and it was something that brought us together. And I love taking her to the movies. I legitimately enjoy it. So it brings me connection to all the people in my life, and you and I, we're newer friends. We have a newer friendship, but we have this common ground of movies that we both really love, and we're really passionate about that. And we're doing this podcast. It's 12 o'clock midnight my time, and I'm here talking for you the last hour about these movies. I'm not tired at all. I love it. I could go for another hour, you know. But if I'm going to say a movie that encapsulates my love of film and why I love film, I'm going to give you a couple. And they're going to be kind of surprising. Yeah, everyone should watch The Godfather once in their life. That's what goes without saying. So, been the effort of being different and giving you something else. Number one, Raiders of the Lost Ark. And that's a movie that everyone should watch. And I think that I think it encapsulates everything I love about movies. It's a big story, it's a spectacle, right? It's a good characters and good acting. It's just a great movie. And then a more recent film that I really love this movie. I think about it all the time. The Holdovers with Paul
No.
Giamatti. Have you seen this? The Holdovers? Oh, you need to watch it. It's a fantastic movie. It it makes you resonate with the characters so well. So like, I love action, I love, but this makes you resonate with people and you really feel what they're going through. And I really, really resonate with that movie. And I think that's so Godfather goes without saying, but Raiders of the Lost Ark and then The Holdovers. Those would be the two movies I would recommend to somebody just starting off with movies to watch. I think those
Okay.
are two very good movies.
I've written them down.
With.
No, I loved it. That was great.
Sorry, I went way too long.
No, I've seen the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Have you never seen Raiders of the Lost Ark? Oh, okay. You said you wrote them down.
Indiana Jones
you've
is
never seen Raiders?
Paramount to my childhood. Yeah, I remember my dad showing us those for the first time.
Yeah. Oh, they're great. They're great movies. Great movies.
Okay, well, there we have it. Why do I love movies?
Why do you love movies?
A lot of it has to do with just my childhood. That I grew up watching movies. I grew up connecting to my dad. There weren't a lot of ways that, again, I don't want to get I don't want to overshare. My dad and I had a difficult relationship, and one of the few ways that we uncontentiously connected was through movies. Specifically, Indiana Jones and Star Wars. Like, those two franchises were one of the few things that my dad and I could talk about, and were really meaningful to my relationship with him. And then those, films and movies in general were really paramount to my relationship with my brother, my only brother. And so there's just like that, like, you can't not love something that's kind of crucial to your growing up. But also, I'm a storyteller. I love performing in front of people, not necessarily being a performer, but I like storytelling. It's really impactful to me. And so I've just come to love now the art and the craft of both creating and presenting a story. And all the things and tools that are used in filmmaking to create and present the story are like just incredible to me. So yeah, if I had to answer though a movie that like I would recommend to somebody, as to why movies can be magical and how you would love, let me just to give like a real answer. Let me turn around and look at my shelf here. And okay. Okay, I have two answers. Naturally, I have three answers. Naturally, two of them are animated. The first one is WALL-E. I just love WALL-E. I think if you watch WALL-E, you can really enjoy the process of telling a story visually and being connected to a character through that visual storytelling. The next one is Your Name. I just think it's incredible. Like that is storytelling at its peak. The way that film just rips your guts out in the best way possible is phenomenal. It's exceptional storytelling. And this is what I will say for people who aren't convinced. It's an anime. It's a Japanese anime. My wife hates watching movies with subtitles. Like, refuses. Well, actually, here's the funny thing. She likes watching English movies with the subtitles on. She hates watching non-English movies with subtitles. Anyway, but it's good enough. The story is good enough, and the storytelling is good enough that she loves it anyway, because it's just that good. And then the last one that I'll suggest that is just fun is The Italian Job, the 2003 remake directed by F. Gary Gray. It's just one of those things. Is like, this is a great story. It's really fun to watch. It's well made, and you're just captivated. Like it's the escapism part of film and storytelling is that one. So those would be my three. I'm a huge fan of The Italian Job. So, yeah. So speaking of Italians, bro, the floor is yours.
For our Godfather fun fact. Okay. Since I brought this up previously in our lost mythical second episode, that we no longer have. It's no longer with us, sadly. But I brought this up because this is where it started. So I wanted to go back to that one because I really thought it was interesting. So at the end of Godfather 2, I told you the story, so you're going to know. So please act surprised. At the end of Godfather 2, there's a scene because it tells you like a sequel and a prequel. So it's telling two stories at the same time. And the end takes place before number one, where Michael, played by Al Pacino, is home to celebrate his father's birthday with his brothers, Tom, his adopted brother, Tom Hagen, Fredo, and Sonny, James Caan, and John Cazale. And they, at the end, they have a big fight. Michael's telling everyone he's going to go to the war. I think it was just after Pearl Harbor, or right around Pearl Harbor might have just happened in the movie. But Michael's going to go to the war. And Sonny was totally against it. So was Tom, but Tom was a little more level-headed. Anyway, they all leave the table one by one. And the order in which they leave is the order in which the real actors died in real life. So it was John Cazale, Fredo leaving first. And then and then it was James Caan, Sonny leaving, and then Tom was the last one to leave, Robert Duvall, and then the end of the movie is just Pacino sitting there all alone, and he's the last one left of that four. So I thought that was a really eerie but interesting little fact. So that is your Godfather fact.
Yeah, that is a cool fact, though. Yeah, I mean, he literally told me in the long lost episode.
Yeah,
that I spent hours trying to recover. But yeah, that is a very, very cool fact. So thank you, everybody, for being here with us in whatever episode number this is, because who knows at this point. Right. One, because I genuinely can't remember, and two,
it's 4, but it's 3.
We'll call it number 3. We'll keep it simple. Call it number 3. So yeah, thank you for being here with us and discussing this. Please leave a question in the comment for us to answer next time.
Be a pro, support physical media, and give blood.